Hi students, how are you? I hope you can see me and hear me okay. Very near the end of week 3, the halfway point. Thank you for your tenacity, your staying with it. I think the course is going well. You're the final judge of that, but I like what I read in your posts, and I like what I read in your papers. I have finished correcting the papers, and I'm just about finished correcting discussion board for week 3. I'm giving a little more time because I know some of you haven't done the post yet. So let me, before I talk about the papers, let me just say I did put you all in groups. There's 4 groups, 7 in each. There's 28 of you in the course. And I put the link in for the memo instructions, that assignment. And it's also in you submitted in the assignment folder in week 4. And it's also in the group when you go to the group that you're in, group 1, 2, 3, and 4. Try to have fun with this, and it's really what it's all about. But I want to see your discussions with each other. Think of a college that you were at, either in the past, or you might be in the future, or you're at now. Just don't identify any of the particulars. We don't need to know the true name of your president. You can say to the president, or just make up something. It's fine. But the content is what I'm really very interested in. So, okay, that's on the memo, which is 10 points, and the rubric for that is also in the assignment folder in week 4. Your papers. I'm pleased with the papers, and I know it was quite a bit of work, and I also sensed from reading all of them that perhaps some of you didn't start with a question, which made it a little bit difficult. About a third of you did, and that was really the key to this. And it said you must start with a question. And in my first introductory comments to your introduction, I took your title in some cases and turned it into a question. It wasn't designed to be a trick question at all. It was just leading you onto a way to introduce your opinion, pro and con. For the most part, I'm very pleased with the papers. Some of you, I had some questions. Some of you had questions for me, and we'll work those out. But for the most part, I am very pleased. I can tell you worked hard on them. And the grades, like I say, are posted. Okay? Week 3 discussion board on, teaching versus research. I thought it was a delightful topic, and many of you have a strong sense of motivation and interest and passion about this. Just some highlights. Many of you like the letter from MIT former President Vest to parents, and Schricker and her comment on the overemphasis of research, which certainly is the case in some institutions, and your own personal experiences. I liked some of you were quite honest and said you've had some bad teachers sometime, and others of you recalled some very good teachers and how much passion they had when they had the opportunity to do field work or research. I thought it was particularly enlightening that Ted, who does grants administration, commented on how he's quite familiar with some of the research that happens at his institution. And Karen, I think from Singapore, was very interesting idea about a recruitment, how one student, I think it was her nephew, was accepted in engineering school and received a letter. This is an 18-year-old who hasn't actually arrived at campus yet, inviting him to work on research with a professor. How delightful. So again, very enriching comments on this issue, the role of tenure and research. And the thing I want to leave you with is the obvious, that the totality of institutions of higher education in the United States are very diverse, from private Catholic schools to big public universities to the big researchers, actually Stanford, Harvard, MIT, and so on. And this is an issue that's not going to ever go away. We need research, good research, but we also need good, excellent teaching. And the bigger institutions are more challenged because they can tend to slip away from the good teaching. And that's one of the things that Boyer talks a lot about, and why we've evolved towards what's known as the scholarship of teaching and learning, which is a fairly new field that he really was the the lead instigator of that when he published one of our books there, the one we're reading, in 1990. So, in summary, that's my feeling. Next week it's on adjuncts and part-time faculty, another big issue in higher education. So continue with what you're doing. This week, the discussion board, again, similar question with your 3 posts, 1 responding to my primary post and 2 to colleagues, and the memo. The memo is not terribly taxing. You know, keep it to 1 page, 2 if you like, double-spaced, correct your work, proof your work, and you're going to do fine, okay? Any questions, please email me directly. I'm delighted as we move into and through the second half of the class. My best to each of you.